All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube, this is Pastor Dowell. I'm going to go ahead and talk about this subject because I know that the American public is grossly uninformed. They're uninformed about the truth of history. They're uninformed about why certain things are being done today and being made. Today we're going to talk about Trump's decision. I don't know how he even have a dog in this race to suggest or to move or to make Jerusalem the capital of Israel. Let me give you the truth, because a lot of these pundits on TV is claiming to tell you the truth. And I'm telling you that they're lying to you. Just like Christians do, they lie to you. They're getting ready to lie to you some more too. All across this land, they're getting ready to tell you that Christmas is a holiday celebrating Jesus' birth. And I'll challenge 6 Christians this past weekend in Green Bay, Wisconsin, to show me that and find me that in the Bible and the instructions, and they could not do it. But then I showed them exactly where it says that when you keep the Passover, you show forth the Lord's death until you come. So it's lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. Let's go into the history here. When you read the word, or Israel in the Bible and Jerusalem, they're synonymous. The problem is that the people who are over there in the land, according to Luke 21:24, is what Jesus said, that they are the Gentiles who are trodden down Jerusalem until the time of the Gentiles is fulfilled. Now, the people that are occupying that land, the people who have settled in that land, are not the indigenous people of that land. Nasser, the Egyptian president, in the late 50s, I think from 58 to 70, he said, we cannot accept you Jews, or you people who call yourself Jews, because you left here black and came back white. Well, how do they do that? Well, the people who occupy that land now are called Ashkenazis. Now, if you go to Genesis, the 10th chapter, it'll give you the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Those people over there are descendants of Japheth. And those people have never stepped foot in that land, have never been to that land, and don't have any right to that land whatsoever at all. What happened was, according to history, before the turn of the 20th century, the Palestinians and the original Jews that was left over in that land, and those who settled and squat after the time of Solomon, they all got together. They used to babysit each other's children. Well, then World War I and World War II happened. And then, of course, Hitler, that's what history trying to tell you, that they started exterminating Jews. Now, let's bring the truth. They started exterminating Russian Ashkenazis who come from the land of Khazar or Khazaria. Go check all this stuff out. I know that you ain't never heard this in church, and you ain't gonna hear this in church because church is full of lies, and your pastors are liars. And I don't know why I put this seatbelt on. Anyway, so they used to babysit each other's children, and then in 1948 there was an agreement made with the Europeans called the Balfour Agreement. Go punch it in and look it up. The Europeans got together and decided what they were going to do with these people that call themselves Jews. What are they going to do with them? Now, mind you, the Palestinians didn't even have a seat at this table. And of course, just like all European empires and countries do, it's about conquest and order out of chaos. And that's the reason why people in an uproar today is because everything is being done unlawfully, illegitimately, and illegally. And so the Europeans are doing everything they can to run a literal blitzkrieg all across this world in favor of land grab, oil grab, petrodollar grab, resource grab, the whole 9 yards. The Bible calls them in Deuteronomy 28 a people of fierce countenance. That's the European nations. So they made an agreement that they were going to move the so-called Jews into the land of Palestine, over and called that land Israel. Now, mind you, An Israeli is not a true Israelite. I'm a true Israelite. An Israeli is someone who has stolen the name Israel and then put Israeli on the end of it, as because they are political. They're called Zionist. And I know that right now I done got some of y'all head hurting. It's spinning all over the place. But as usual, as I always say concerning the straightway truth, I dare you to go check me out. Most of you are afraid of the truth anyway. But anyway, so these people went over and squatted in his land. By the military power and might of the United States of America and Great Britain. Now, ironically, all the nations in the UN disagree with this move. And American news reporters are lying and saying that the people of America favor this move. You mean the dumb, stupid, ignorant, evangelical, so-called Christians favor this move. But those of us who are informed, we don't favor this move because we know what it means to have our land stolen from us. We know what it means to sit down and have a peaceful meal with you, and then you turn around and chop off our heads and rape our women and sodomize our children and have a feast over it and call it Thanksgiving. We know what it means to have our rivers and streams and everything else polluted. We know what it means to go in these kangaroo courts and never get any justices. So everybody, that's the reason why the whole world is up in a roar because, and man, I'm telling you, over in Beirut, man, they're cutting a little fool over there. And I told you, didn't I tell you? Y'all get ready, get your popcorn. It's going to be interesting because the world is going to protest this big time. And that's what we've got going on. So the Europeans are known for lying, cheating, stealing, falsifying information, and writing history that will favor them. Winston Churchill said that. He said, history will be kind to me because I intend to write it myself. Winston Churchill. Go Google that and check it out. Check it out. Anyway, so what we have going on here is another land grab. Now, they got that land by a bad real estate deal that went south because the Europeans, as usual, if they mouth moving, is lying. Now, the Bible talks about these people that are occupying that land over there and calling themselves Jews. And if you want to know what Jesus Christ said about those people that are occupying this land today, they call themselves Jews, you have no further to look than Revelation chapter 2, verse 9, and Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. And you will get the truth about those people in that land because they are the Gentiles that is trotting it down until the time of the Gentiles to be fulfilled. So they're supposed to be doing this right now. And that's just all there's to it. But we that are true Israelites, we are in exile to our Yah right now. We are in exile to our Yah until the Hamashiach, Yahshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ returns. And what I just got finished giving you is the unadulterated, uncompromised, naked, cold, hard truth. You won't hear this in the news media. You damn sure ain't gonna hear in these pagan Christian churches who getting ready to celebrate a fat man called Satan Claus or Santa Claus. Anyway, I ain't gonna get off on that. But hey, we're living in some interesting times. And of course, what's Trump doing? He make all these moves, order out of chaos. What's the reason and purpose for it? I'm going to tell you the reason why. Reason and purpose for it because there's so many sex scandals going on in the Senate in the United States of America, and including people running for the Senate, that he has to have a diversion. And a diversion is this. This is just timing. You have to understand, anytime politicians are making any kind of move up in the public in front, you need to continue to pay attention to the stories that they have steam for a couple of weeks and then all of a sudden they die down. You need to ask yourself the question, why is these stories dying down? What in the world is really truly going on? Something stinks around here. And what stinks is that Rome, the ancient revived Roman Empire, is flexing its muscle again. And that's called all them nations that's got that eagle on their flag, they're all Confederate. If you want to know what I mean, go read Psalms 83, verses 1 through 8. Now, I've given you enough to go on if you choose to. And I realize that many people hate the truth. They don't care about the truth. But you know what? The book says it's the only thing that sets free. And he who the Son set free is free indeed. But they have a time. They have to run this course and do this. But know this. hellfire and brimstone coming, and blood is going to be up to the horse's bridle when Jesus Christ comes and kills all these nations who have done his people wrong. That's the truth, and that's the true straight way. Stay tuned.